When life happens, Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
What's on your mind, Cayman? If you're ready to talk, we are ready to listen. Discussing current events and local news, community spotlights, hot topics, listener stories, cultural and historical discussions, environmental issues, fun and lighthearted topics, guest interviews. Cayman, basically anything you want to talk about, we are ready to listen. Here's your guest host.
Good afternoon and welcome to Talk Today. Had a little late start this afternoon, but we're here now, and I will ascribe that late start to me. All of our guests were here waiting as well, but we will ensure that we make it the wait worth the while, as well. As we continue our discussion on the Aging Forum that is taking place tomorrow, the 20th of September at the Westin Hotel. And in the studio, we have representatives from the credit union as well as, from the ministry. And I'm going to have them introduce themselves to our listening and viewing audience. And of course, I'm your guest host, Orrett Connor, filling in this afternoon as well. So we're going to start to my right, and good afternoon. Welcome back to Talk Today.
Good afternoon, Cayman. My name is Nancy Whitaker, and I am proudly here from our Cayman Islands Civil Service Association Cooperative Credit Union. And I am currently in the role of a Senior Compliance Operational Officer. So thank you all for inviting us into your homes and your vehicles this afternoon.
Okay.
Good afternoon. My name is Lemuel Hurlston, and I am here as a presenter at the Aging Forum tomorrow.
Good afternoon. I am Carleen Bramwell. I am the Gender Affairs Representative on the Council of Older Persons. And we are thrilled that we have Credit Union as a sponsor and Mr. Lem, who happens to be one of the founding members of the Credit Union, but he has many hats that he has worn. And so we are so pleased that he is able to participate this year.
Okay, and I'm going to have you, Ms. Carleen, kick off the discussion as well.
All right. Well, the first thing I have to announce, and we are pleased to say this, although some people will not be so pleased, is that the forum is actually sold out.
Wow.
We have capped our 200 participants. We only had limited space in the Westin, so we had to have pre-registration and so forth. However, persons will not be left out because you can actually watch the forum on Compass. They have decided that they will be recording the forum, and also it will be on their Facebook page. So you have not been left out at all. You can still stay at home and watch in the comfort of your home. But we are happy to say that, and very pleased that people have appreciated, obviously, the idea, the concept of the forum. This is the second year that we've had it. And we hope that it will be bigger and better.
Okay. Over to the credit union.
All right, so we are honored to be a sponsor of this event this year. Our seniors are the foundation of our community. They are who represents us, we represent them. So at the credit union, we have so many different things that we do to represent our seniors. And we have services specialized to them. I mean, I could go on for days and weeks and months and years about everything that we do for our senior members. But, starting off as simple things, such as, when our members first come into the office, when they first pull in, we have our specialized spots directly for them, closest to the door. And then we have a specialized line for our seniors as well. And it doesn't just stop right there. We do recognize, there are some times when you're just not feeling well, that you're just maybe something is hurting you, or you're just not in the right place to come into public. So we do have our team as well that offer personalized service for our members. So as they come in, we notice that you're not, your normal chippy self, we'll pull you out of the line, we'll help you out, or we'll give you speedier service and pull you to the front of our line. And those are just a couple of the things that we do. I mean, not a couple, it's just a very small portion of what we do for our senior members.
And of course, I've heard in the past people talk about, some persons have actually sent in questions and comments in relation to using the credit union as an example that has a line, a special queue that is assigned, for seniors only, and talking, about the fact that we need more business entities to do similar things as well.
Right. And I must say that I appreciate those chairs in the credit union for the seniors, because when I carry my parents, they are able to sit down. And the other thing that we have to remember is that it's not only people who are over 65 that may have some sort of, disability, whether it is temporary or permanent, that will also be helped by having those types of services. So I must say we appreciate the credit union for what they do.
Thank you.
Okay, Ms. B, do you want me to come to you now for a commercial break? Okay, so now that we have introduced our guests and we know the direction that we're going to be going as far as the discussion is concerned, we're going to take a short commercial break, and when we return, we will get into the meat of the discussion. Don't change that dial. Please stay tuned. Talk today. We'll be back shortly.
National. Protect your computers and mobile devices with security software to defend against cyber attacks through viruses, malware, and other online threats. Be aware of unsecure Wi-Fi connections when in public. If you need to access your online banking or sensitive information on your mobile devices, try disabling the Wi-Fi and switching to data from your mobile network. If you suspect a fraud attempt, please contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit CaymanAirways.com/cargo.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
It's a sizzling summer with JN Money. You can win a luxury weekend getaway for two when you send or receive money from now until September 30, 2025. That's right. We're turning up the heat this summer with JN Money. Visit www.jnmoneyonline.com to learn more about how to win. What are you waiting for? Send, win, relax this summer with JN Money.
Caymanian job seekers, are you still searching for the right opportunity? To ensure that your application application is received and considered. During your job search, we encourage you to apply for that role on the Work Jobs portal, even if you applied for the job advertised on the company's website. Increase your chance of putting your best foot forward. Double up to stay on top. Don't wait. Hit that apply button today. Visit WORC.KY to search for available jobs.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. I am your guest host, Orrett Connor, and we have Miss Carleen Bramwell in the studio with us, Miss Nancy Whitaker, and Mr. Lemuel Hurlston. We're talking about the second Aging Forum in the Cayman Islands, taking place on Saturday, the 20th of September at the Westin Resort. You've heard Ms. Bramwell speak of the fact that the forum is fully subscribed, fullest greater awareness and understanding older persons is for attendees to leave with vital knowledge, and to encourage ongoing discussions about aging in the Cayman Islands. The Council encourages everyone to draw on ideas from the forum to help all in Cayman age with dignity. Some of the featured speakers will include a keynote speaker, which we had in the studio previously, Ms. Fiona McDougall, also Dr. Sanku Gupta. He will be presenting on the needs and challenges of an aging population. Some of the topics will include daily challenges of persons living with Alzheimer and dementia, financial wellness and preventing financial abuse, improving balance, mobility, and flexibility. The forum, of course, will open at 1 p.m. and Ms. Bramwell will give you more information on that as well. But you would have heard me speak to the fact about financial wellness and preventing financial abuse. And this is an area that Mr. Lemuel Hurlston will be leading on, and I'm going to invite him to talk about what he will be presenting as well. Not going to give you everything because we want you to, we know you're going to be there simply because the event is fully subscribed. Mr. Hurlston, good afternoon, sir. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I was invited to be a presenter at this forum last year, and I had a conflict at the last minute and had to apologize. So I'm delighted that I'm available to participate this year because I am also aging myself. And when I retired from the civil service many years ago, I became a part owner of a agency representing a life insurance company in the Cayman Islands. And as a part owner of the business, I deliberately put myself through several insurance courses in order to gain some knowledge about the business. I won't be speaking too much about that tomorrow, but it just gives me the background, the confidence of the background that, planning for aging and planning for retirement is an important subject. Mm-hmm. People often put it off because they believe it's not going to happen to them. It will only happen to others. But we're all in the same boat. Mm-hmm. We're all on the same journey. We're at different stages, perhaps. But planning for that eventuality and planning for contingencies surrounding aging is also critical because life happens. And we have to be prepared in the event that it does happen, and we are privileged to live to see it happen. So aging has its privileges, as you just heard about the privileges of older people being attended to at the credit union. Yes. Most people know my fondness for the credit union. It was one of my babies, and so I have a very special place in my heart for that subject. I studied cooperatives as a hobby, and when the credit union was being formed, I really fell in love with the concept. And so I'm delighted that the credit union is going to be presenting along with me tomorrow at the forum on the subject of abuse and fraud, because those are areas that seniors in particular are vulnerable and susceptible to being taken advantage of. Mm-hmm. But financial wellness is a subject that is very broad, and our wellness can be measured by the temperatures in the morning and the temperatures in the afternoon, and it can change. I hope to be speaking on the subject of budgeting, debt management, investment knowledge, insurance awareness, and long-term planning. Those are the highlights. And I have drafted 11 slides that will accompany the presentation. And hopefully it will be received in the spirit with which it is given, not from an expert, but from someone who has lived some of the topics himself, and who is also experiencing some of the challenges of getting old. So that will be my small contribution tomorrow.
And that contribution, in terms of having lived it can be much more valuable than getting it from the experts as well.
True.
Yes. Yes. So, and your presentation is going to be, you said you will be presenting some slides on, things of that nature, giving examples, as well. We did have representatives from the Lands and Survey Department on the show recently talking, about, some of the things they do and an event, taking place as well. And one of the areas that we see where elderly abuse can take place has to do in the form of property,
land
ownership, as well. Will you be focusing in?
I believe the credit union is going to cover that in their presentation. But that is an area that is very prone to abuse, and one has to be very sharp on the lookout for suspicious activities surrounding that area. And people do change. People do put a lot of energy into taking advantage of others, and that is so sad when we consider how people came into ownership of their property, and to see it being taken advantage of, particularly by members of the same family. That is a painful, very painful experience, and one has to guard against it very carefully.
Okay, we have about. Well, what we're going to do, Miss B, we're going to come to you with a commercial break, because when we return, I'm going to have Miss Nancy Whitaker talk more about the credit union and all of the things, the good things that they do for our seniors as well. Please stay tuned. Talk Today. We'll be back shortly.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit CaymanAirways.com/cargo.
Wouldn't it have been grand if you had purchased land 30 years ago? It may not be 2020, but a perfect vision has never been more clear. Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, poised for growth with an eye on the future. Your land, your history, your future. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
The 7 a.m. Sports Report, brought to you by Dr. Wayne Porter, offering a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. Call 946-9020 to book your appointment today.
Radio Cayman News. The country saw its fourth fatal crash of the year.
Has referred the matter to the multi-agency safeguarding hub for investigation.
We can move on to the next phase of the sea cable.
Gathered Saturday at the Old Savannah Schoolhouse, marking the 85th year since the building was opened.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice for today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. For those of you who are just joining us, we have in the studio Miss Carleen Bramwell, Mr. Lemuel Hurlston, and Miss Nancy Whitaker. We're going to talk about the credit union, and there's so many things that the credit union do for our older persons. And I must say also that on one of the shows, there were several suggestions whether or not we should refer to them as old, to us, I should say, because I'm a part of it, to us as older persons. And I made the suggestion, well, we could say older and wiser persons, as well. But so much that the credit union does for its membership as well. And I think we want to go over each of these points because there is a possibility that some people may not be aware of some of these services that are offered. Like I saw one here, about, certain days when the doors are open earlier and all of that. Didn't know about that. I may camp out by the doors, one of these days as well. But Miss Nancy, please share some of this good news, with her viewing and listening audience.
Yes, those days are fun days. They're randomly selected, so you don't know. It may be this month, it may be next month. You never know with us. So, some days our members come, especially government paydays. They come early. Some of them have to get rides from all the way from East End and North Side and West Bay just to try to come to the credit union to do their banking. Now, to a lot of our older members, our credit union is more than just a financial institution. To them, we are also part of the family. They watched us grow. They've been part of us. They've been with us for the last 50 years, 49 plus years. So when our members come early in the morning and it's warm outside, those things, we take them seriously. So randomly we'll open up our doors and we'll invite them in to a nice, secure and safe and dry and cool lobby, give them little random treats. So yes, we do those randomly, not all the time, not every government payday, but randomly we do that. And we also, fees are a big thing. At the credit union, we recognize how much you've contributed. And we recognize not just contribute to our credit union, but to our community as well. And we know that you are on a limited income. You're not making as much as you were when you were fully employed. So we don't charge fees. Certain transactional fees that are applied to members, you don't pay them, such as withdrawal fees. We also provide a lot of financial assistance to a lot of different community organizations, such as Meals on Wheels. Up to this week, we had a team on Wednesday, I believe. We had a team of staff. Some of them were at supermarkets looking for donations. Some were taking food donations, monetary donations. And we also had a team out delivering meals to the seniors. And some of the stories that I heard, our employees, if we could, they would go out every single day. They loved it. They sat down, they talked, they gave them their meals. It was probably one of the most rewarding things that they have ever done. But our commitment to our members go beyond just financial donations as well. So one of our credit unions 7 principles, because our credit union is no different from the other credit unions globally. We're guided by principles, and one of them is education. So by sponsoring certain events such as the forum that will be taking place tomorrow, throughout the year, we also do a lot of education. We offer seminars. We offer them online or in person for a number of different topics, such as, cybersecurity. Wills and Testaments is one of our hottest sessions that we have offered. And our members have that opportunity to ask qualified attorneys, questions about, can I do this? Can I do that? And they understand the difference between the credit union beneficiaries and their last will and testament, and what will happen if you don't have a last will and testament. And the attorneys that we have that comes out and does this presentation for us, free of course, because he loves our members, they actually offer services as well, discounted services to those seniors who are looking for these events. And we also offer elderly fraud, like what Mr. Hurlston was speaking about before. We offer sessions on that. We give our members the tools that they need to help identify when a fraud is to take place, not just through online, but also in person, keeping out for family members, friends, caregivers. Sometimes it's really sad to say, but it's the people that we trust the most that are taking advantage of us. Now, our staff as well. We don't just put the reliance on our members and ask our members to keep an eye out for themselves. Our staff are trained, whether it's a loans officer and we see a young member come in, or a member in general come in wanting to put up their elderly parents or grandparents' property. We know what to look for. We know the questions to ask, and we're not afraid to ask those hard questions, and we're not afraid to get legal guidance as well if needed. And also for our frontline staff, we know how to tell when our members are we'll see a member come in that's usually happy and bouncy and giggly and looking forward to talking to their favorite MSR in the front line, and we can tell if something is off. So our frontline staff were trained. They know what to look for. So we do so many things beyond just financially supporting our senior members through the community. We have training internally. We offer training to our members as well. We assist them by helping keep their costs down by reducing those fees. We recognize them. We respect them. We give them that extra service that they need, whether it's a closer parking spot, whether it's just identifying, or some days you just can't get out of the car and you just call us up, and you call up one of our call up one of our staff members and say, I'm in the car today, I really can't get out. We will do the transaction, and we will go out and we will do our verifications and all that stuff, and we'll go to you. So that's where the credit union really steps apart from, other institutions. And we also were the first on island. I just like to brag about this. We were the first on island to actually offer those senior services with the parking and the senior line. And at the end of the day, we are happy that because of the credit union making that one move, that other organizations are moving in that direction, because that's what we're here for. We just want our members, our community to be better.
Okay. Christmas time. What are you doing during the Christmas? Tell us.
Well, I can speak. One thing that comes to the top of my mind is I remember a couple of years ago, and this was something that completely amazed me. Meals on Wheels came to us and said, hey, we're looking for a drop-off point for Christmas presents. And some of our members, older members, they need that little extra, smile in Christmas time. The credit union took it a little step further. We actually drafted up an email and we sent it out to all of our members. And we have over 19,000 members. And when I tell you the outpour that we received from our members, delivering gifts, we made a lot. The credit union membership, the community made a lot of seniors smiled. They had a Christmas gift. And I tell you, the room was full. It was full. It was literally trucks of presents back and forth that they were doing. So we want our members to enjoy themselves.
Okay, so Ms. Carlene, we want to hear some more from you about the ministry's strategy as far as dealing with older persons, is concerned. And of course, that would be the Ministry of Social Development and Innovation, right?
Right. As you had, I'm not going to go too much into that because you had on our CEO the other day and a number of persons from the ministry. So as you would be aware from that particular presentation, the Council of Older Persons and the Disabilities Council have now been moved from the Cabinet Office to the ministry. So it means that we are even more involved. We were already involved, both from the professional side, DCFS, etc. But now we are even closer involved with that. I want to say, on behalf of the council, thank you so much to the credit union and to businesses like that, because one of the things that we did in our first 4 years of our term was to actually write to the Bankers Association, write to different banks, write to different organizations to say, how can you, we're not going to tell you necessarily what to do, but you can figure out from your business how you can actually accommodate our seniors. Because one of the goals in the policy is to support older persons to maintain their dignity. And so we want to facilitate systems, services, and infrastructure designed with special attention to the needs of older persons. And that's exactly what the credit union has done. And there are a number of other institutions, but yay for being the forerunners in that. And also, I'm a little bit biased because you forgot to mention the Savannah office of the credit union. And I find that they are so gentle and caring, and you feel really at home when you're in that office. So I must say that the staff there has been amazing. It's really a calm environment. You don't have the hustle and bustle of town necessarily. So I think that the persons in the eastern districts must really appreciate that setting. I know I do.
And the BRAC too.
Well, there we go. And I'm happy also to hear of the different programs that they offer, because it's not only the seniors that need to know this information, but younger persons. I have been a victim of fraud, and I know how that felt to lose that amount of money. And I can imagine how, as a senior, it's even worse, that it has to be devastating to lose even $100 is plenty money. So thank you very much for the services that you have given to our seniors. In terms of other community partners who will also have information booths at the site, in addition to the credit union. So we have our departments under our ministry: Department of Children and Family Services, Department of Financial Assistance. The Alzheimer's and Dementia Association are one of our partners too for the forum, and we are thrilled that they can also participate. And one of the things that I'm looking forward to, their session is going to be a simulation activity on the daily challenges of persons living with Alzheimer's and dementia. And I think it will be like in a setting of whether it's a medical office or even the credit union, for example. What does somebody go through when they're trying to fill out a form, or they're even persons who may be hard of hearing, because of course these things come with older age as well. How do we, as an institution like yourself, train our staff to be keen and attentive to the needs of persons? So I'm so thrilled. You are a very good example of how institutions can get involved. The Disabilities Council and the Older Persons Council will be there, and Healthy Futures will also have a booth.
Go finish your thought, and then and we'll go to the news.
I was just going to mention some of the other sponsors. The Ministry of Social Development, as we talked about, the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture and Heritage, the Ministry of Health, Environment and Sustainability, the Health Services Authority, the Minister for District Administration, Mr. Nicholas DaCosta, has also been extremely supportive, and we are also bringing a set of guests from the BRAC, I think 10 persons who have been selected to come over with his support, and the Department of Agriculture. So this is really a community event, and many community partners have been involved, and happily involved, I must say. So.
Okay, thank you very much for that information, Ms. Carleen. We're going to go to our 1 o'clock news. When we return, the conversation will continue. We're talking about the older persons, the Aging Forum, taking place on tomorrow, the 20th of September, at the Westin Hotel, already fully subscribed to. So if you haven't already made plans and actually registered, because there was a online registration that they were asking for, thought that may be sort of like a turn off to a certain extent, in terms of people inhibited.
Calling me and giving me their information, and I was putting them in. So that's what I've been doing for the last couple of days.
Excellent. So we're going to go to our news. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
I'm April Cummings with your headlines. The Office of the Ombudsman is taking its Freedom of Information message into local schools next week ahead of International Right to Know Day. The initiative marks 16 years since Cayman adopted FOI legislation. Staff from the Ombudsman Office will visit John Gray High School, UCCI, and Grace Christian Academy starting Monday to deliver interactive sessions for students between the ages of 14 and 18. The focus, knowledge is power. Transparency builds trust, and leadership starts with awareness. Other schools will be added to the program through the end of the year. In international headlines, Estonia has summoned a Russian diplomat after 3 Russian fighter jets entered its airspace without permission and stayed for 12 minutes. Officials called the incident unprecedentedly brazen, coming just a week after NATO planes downed Russian drones near Poland. And U.S. President Donald Trump says he will meet Chinese President Xi Jinping at a regional summit in South Korea at the end of October, with plans to visit China early next year. The announcement follows a call between the leaders where they also discussed progress on the TikTok deal. Those are your headlines. I'm April Cummings.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Do you have a healthcare question but not sure who to ask? Contact HSA's Patient Call Center to speak to one of our experienced clinical team members. We are here to answer your questions and help guide you through your healthcare journey. Need to make an appointment? Our team can help. Contact HSA at 949-8600 or email info@hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands. Captain Keith Parker Tibbetts, MBE, JP. In late 1945, Captain Keith Parker Tibbets and his brothers formed Tibbet Brothers to build a cargo ship for trading in the Caribbean, which they named TB Radar, launched on August 20th, 1946. Keith supervised the construction, which was the first ship launched on Cayman Brac with the engine already installed. Keith also supervised the building of a second ship the following year, the MV Sonar, which launched on September 9th, 1947. After operating the ships for a few years, the brothers sold them both. Years later, he built and launched the MV Trial on 3rd of January 1967. In 1951, he joined the Trinidad Shipping Company for a year and a half before coming back to Cayman Brac in 1952 to join the ranks of Caymanians who were shipping out to global ports with national bulk carriers. Even though, unlike most of his fellow seamen, he spent merely a year on the ocean before turning his sights towards the promised land on shore. One of his personally created catboats was on display in the Kensington Museum in London for many years, a shining example of his pride of craftsmanship and excellence. This was part 4 of his special Sister Islands vignette series dedicated to Captain Keith Parker Tibbets.
I'll be back. I've got 22 more days.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Marriage is a journey worth investing in. On Saturday, September 20th, join author, coach, and speaker, Mr. Wesley Jones from Panama, for a life-changing marriage workshop at the Intergenerational Hub, Old Woods Furniture Store behind Airport Foster's. Discover tips on how to continue loving in your marriage, strengthen your bond, and inspire the next generation that marriage works. Enjoy breakfast at 10 a.m., followed by a powerful workshop and question and answer session. Space is limited. RSVP as soon as possible. Call 916-6182. A Kimpton gift certificate is up for grabs for the person inviting the most couples. This is a free event. Strong marriages build strong families, and strong families build strong communities.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. For those of you who are just joining us, we are talking about the second Asian in the Cayman Islands Forum that is taking place tomorrow, Saturday, the 20th of September at the Westin Resort. This conversation is taking place with Miss Nancy Whitaker from the Credit Union, Miss Carleen Bramwell from the ministry, and one of the presenters at the forum, former Financial Secretary,
Chief Secretary.
Chief Secretary. Yeah, you know what? I said that and I know better, but I heard it somewhere else where it was quoted as that. You know, former Chief Secretary, now known as the Deputy Governor, and under a new constitution is now called Deputy Governor as well, Mr. Lemuel Hurlston. Before we go back, even though we have gone beyond this morning and for the record, birthday shout-outs. One of our listeners had sent me something this morning, and I didn't get the opportunity to give the big shout-out as well, so I'm going to do so now because they wanted to send out belated birthday greetings to their amazing Member of Parliament and Minister, Honorable Isaac Rankin, who celebrated his birthday yesterday, and greetings coming from his East End District family as well. So happy belated birthday to Honorable Isaac Rankin, Minister and Member of Parliament, on his birthday yesterday.
And he happens to be the Minister for Social Development.
And Innovation. Yes.
So that was a free advert for him right there.
Precisely, right there.
Happy belated.
Right there as well. So, at the forum, we know the keynote speaker for the event will be Ms. Fiona McDougall, who is the owner and director of Healthy Futures Limited. We will also have Dr. Sanku Gupta, who will be speaking, presenting on needs and challenges of an aging population. Topics will include daily challenges of persons living with Alzheimer and dementia. Then, of course, financial wellness and preventing financial abuse. Mr. Lemuel Hurlston. What I would like you to do for our audience, because I don't know that many persons appreciate how far the Cayman Islands has come, in terms of what we offer to our population, what we offer to our civil servants as well. And I'd like you to talk about the history of pensions in the Cayman Islands as well, because of course our public service, pension board plays a huge role in the lives of retired persons as well. Mr. Hurlston.
Sure. Okay. Well, there are two types of pension schemes. One is called a defined benefit plan, which is what most civil servants will be accustomed to. And then more recently, with the passage of legislation, I think it was in 1997, the pension law itself, that another form of pension known as a defined contribution scheme is the second alternative form of pension. Most of us that are retired now have enjoyed the benefits of the defined benefit plan as opposed to the contribution plan. And there's a substantial difference between the two. The defined benefit plan will give pensioners up to 2/3 of their final salary as a pension benefit for the rest of their lives. In addition to that, 100% of medical care is given. 100% of dental and vision care is provided for. And so those pensioners enjoy a package that is exceedingly valuable and generous. The pension schemes, however, were not fully funded by the government because it was too expensive to absorb the cost in one go. So I think it is being paid for and built up over time. And the pension funds themselves are well managed and invested. And the returns from those investments are being accumulated to go towards paying some of the past costs, the unfunded portions of the scheme. And then those who are retiring with the defined contribution benefits will enjoy a sort of an annuity calculated on the basis of what has been contributed. It will be a bit less than the defined benefit scheme, but nevertheless it will continue to be paid for as long as they live, and that's the reason for that one. Health insurance is the other significant issue that is associated with retiring persons. And I know that persons who have retired recently have had a real challenge in finding coverage for health insurance that is affordable to them as pensioners. And I believe the government has given some sort of undertaking that they're going to look at that closely to see what options there might be to help persons with that challenge, because that is a significant cost. Health insurance premiums are a good percentage of people's income these days, and to have that placed at a time on your budget when you can least afford it is often a problem. But I'd also like to share with you a story, a true story that was given to us by you talk about people with wisdom, a former member of Parliament, the Honourable Haig Bodden, who himself was a life insurance salesman. He was a guest speaker at one of the earliest credit union annual general meetings. And he told us some stories, and one of the stories that resonated with me, and this is going back now 48 years ago, as a life insurance salesman, he said, you know, anybody can save money, but it takes a disciplined person to keep it saved. And that is where credit unions in particular offer a method of convenient and disciplined accumulation of savings. And the credit union will also encourage people to continue to save even as they borrow. So you repay your loan, and in addition to repaying your loan, you continue to add to your savings. And it is amazing how that formula, paying a debt while at the same time increasing your savings, that little formula in itself provides a certain amount of security for families. But Haig Bodden told us about anybody can save, but it takes a wise and a disciplined person to keep it saved. I thought that was worth sharing. I'm not including that in my presentation.
And also, can you speak to what obtained prior to us having a pensions law? You know, we how would you qualify for a pension, and how do you actually receive it? Where was the funding for it?
I believe that was known as an ex gratia sort of compensation, because the government was not legally obligated to pay a pension in the early days. So persons who worked for a long time for the government could apply for, and many did receive, ex gratia compensation for their services. And that was calculated on a slightly different formula. My recollection is that it was something like 12.5% of final earnings, or something that was quite small. And in the end, the government always had to top it up because it fell behind, and it never kept up. It never kept up with the cost of living. It was never measured by inflation or anything like that. And so when the government often had to top it up with additional funding until everybody got to the point where even the persons who were getting ex gratia pensions got taken up into a minimum pension payment, so that there's no one now that is earning less than whatever that minimum threshold, which has been fixed by the government, is. So that provides a little bit of a cushion to families on those small pension incomes.
And at that time, there was really no pot of money that was set aside for
None at
pension.
all.
It was all derived from the general
revenue. Yes. In fact, I believe the way the legislation was written, it was written so that pensions had the first call on the revenues of the territory. So pensioners were protected by law as being guaranteed whatever the government wanted to give them. It was guaranteed to come out of the general revenue fund as a first charge, and then everything else had to come after that.
Okay. So, Ms. Nancy, you heard Mr. Hurlston speak about the fact that, what the credit union does in terms of encouraging you, to save, and even if you borrow, they encourage you to save as well. What, if any, limitations are placed on older persons? For instance, we know that there are some commercial financial institutions out there. You reach a certain age and they basically are not going to, or unlikely to, offer you a loan, to give you a loan, because of the risks that they may associate with that. Can you speak to the credit union's policy as far as older persons are concerned?
Sure. Well, I can definitely say that I have some of our senior members that look and act and are way younger than me. So the credit union, yes, we say at the age of 65, that's retirement age. That's when a majority of our senior benefits tend to kick in. However, we don't necessarily look at your age as a number. We look at our members' ability to repay. Therefore, we have some members who are were great savers, like what Mr. Hurlston had referred to before. Just kind of feeding onto that, deductions. Our credit union has always encouraged our members to save first. And we have some members that were really good savers, that every single month a small portion of their salary came out of their salary and it came over to the credit union. They put it in their shares account. They saved it. They invested their money wisely. They developed wealth for themselves. And now maybe they have rental income or they own businesses. And due to that, these members have the ability to earn income past the age of 65. Therefore, we will look at those members, and we look at everybody on an individual basis. And we say, okay, you have the ability to repay. These are what we require of you. But of course, age is just a number. It's your ability to repay, and once you have it, you're good.
Excellent, excellent. So let's talk a little bit more about the forum tomorrow, Ms. Carleen. And I see here where that the forum is open to not only to older persons per se, but to carers and even organizations that are involved with caring for older persons as well. Can you elaborate on that?
One of the ideas we had when we decided to do this forum in the first place from last year was we wanted it to be an audience that was very varied. So we wanted people to prepare, to be able to prepare for aging. We wanted to bring together persons who already care for people who are aging, and also we wanted to ensure that persons who came knew what the resources were in the community. So that has been the concept from the very beginning. And so just because you have missed it this year doesn't mean that you can't necessarily come to us and say, all right, yes, please get me on for next year. We'd appreciate that, actually. So you can contact the Council of Older Persons through our website or the email address, which is Council of Older Persons Council, at gov.ky. And yes, get in for next year. Those organizations we would be glad to have on board and to highlight them as well.
Okay, we do have a caller. Let's grab the caller. Caller, good afternoon. Welcome to Talk Today.
Hi, good afternoon, Mr. Connor. Good afternoon, Nancy, Carleen, and Mr. Hurlston. I had two questions. I think Nancy may have been giving an answer that could fit to one, but I didn't catch everything she said. But about 2 years ago, I had two civil servants that had come to me with concerns that they weren't able to try to borrow from the credit union because they said that they couldn't borrow against their retirement income. For, they received their little retirement payment every month, and they weren't able to borrow against that. And I'm not sure if that has changed. One was a senior person who wanted to buy a small secondhand truck, and the other was a average age young lady who had retired early and wanted to get another car. So I'm not sure if there's been any change in regards to that or what that might have been. And my other concern was about 2 years ago, I tried to reopen an account with the credit union. Mine had been closed down because I was off island, and I was told that I had to have a relative re-sign my application in order for me to rejoin. So I'm not sure if that is still the case. I didn't see the logic of that, and no one had been able to call me back and give me a definitive answer of why that may have been the case, especially considering I had been a previous customer. So those are my two concerns. I was calling to see if they could be answered.
Thank you. Thank you very much, caller. Ms. Nancy?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for the question. Sorry, can I take these earphones off? It sounds weird talking into it. So in regards to your first question in reference to the members that had approached the credit union in regards to seeking some financing, What I would definitely recommend that you do is have those individuals reach back out to us to see if there is something that we can do. There is no blanketed approach. I can't say yes or no because everybody is individual. My situation, your situation, everybody is different. So I would recommend that they reach out to one of our amazing and awesome loan officers and see what we can do to assist them. And in reference to opening up an account, no, you don't need to have anybody sign off on the application for you. You can contact the credit union once you can qualify to become a member. Then you don't need anybody's signature. You don't need nobody's permission to open an account at the credit union. Once you qualify, you qualify. And on top of that, we are growing. We're no longer just a paper organization. If you really do enjoy filling out paperwork, then we have the paper for you. But we do have different options where you have the ability to apply for membership online as well. So you can just visit our website, which is creditunion.ky, and all of the questions and all of the things that you would have had to put in paper, you can just type it in. You can do it on your cell phone. You can do it on a computer. Or if you want to come in, that's fine. But we do have those digital options as well. So definitely ask those persons you know to reach out to us. And if you have any questions or anybody has any questions in regards to becoming a member of the credit union, contact us. There's a lot of information on our website. Contact the credit union. We are there to help you.
And you have actually expanded the criteria for membership as well. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Exactly. So the credit union is not just for government employees, not just for the civil servants. We are open to utility companies and their immediate family members, healthcare companies, private healthcare companies, private educational institutions, and also again, immediate family members, which is a big thing. I know years ago, if your cousin had an account at the credit union, you had to get your aunt or your uncle or so many different people to come in to open up their account. You no longer have to do that. You don't have to get 10 people to come in to open up one single account. Now all you have to do is just show us the relationship, obtain a copy of the birth certificates, marriage certificates, and you can open the account. It's so much easier. So much more efficient. So that way we get you in, get you start saving, fill out those deduction forms and start saving right away.
Yes. So Ms. Carleen, let's go back to the forum itself. Actually, it starts at 2, but there will be something taking place before that as well.
Right. So at 1 o'clock, and we encourage people, especially if you have already registered, to come early so that somebody else doesn't take your seat. So we'll start at 1 with lunch, and we have Westin, who has provided a wonderful lunch for us. And in that time, you will also be able to look at the booths that will be available, and also just chit chat with people around. Because one of the things that we also love to promote is the fact that older persons, it's not only food, as our chair always says, it's not only food that they need, they actually need that socialization and interaction and so forth. So we have put that into our programming. So that's between 1 and 2. And then promptly at 2 o'clock, we will start with our officials' beginnings and so forth, the welcoming remarks, etc. And then our keynote speech, which will be at 2:30 with Miss Fiona McDowell, and she'll be looking at age tech, some of the things that can help us to, whether it is to remember our medications, whether it is to remember an appointment that we have, that sort of thing. What are some of those apps and so forth that can help in that regard? And then we move on to Dr. Gupta's presentation. He's a geriatrician, as you know, and he will be looking at the needs and challenges of an aging population. And I think that this is not only for persons who are older themselves, but also an opportunity for persons who may be thinking of that business opportunity, that investment. What are some of the challenges that older persons have that you as a business person may be able to actually solve? And then you can go over to the credit union and borrow from them and make your business. So that's sort of how that particular presentation will essentially be applicable to everybody. And then later on, our next presentation is from ADASI, and they'll be looking at what are the challenges that persons with dementia have, and how do we help them, and how do we understand, that that person may not be able to comprehend as fast as we do, and so forth. And then we look at the fitness activity that Dr. Teasdale, a chiropractor at HSA, will be doing in terms of helping us to improve balance, mobility, and flexibility. And he'll be assisted by Mr. Aaron Taylor. And then Mr. Lemuel comes on with the credit union when they talk about financial wellness and preventing financial abuse. So it's a full afternoon. We hope that people will be able to stay for the entire time. I am personally looking forward to Mr. Hurlston's presentation so that I can learn quite a bit, because when you look and you think, oh my God, I could potentially be in retirement for 20 odd years. How many years has it been for you, Mr. Hurlston? 30 years. Where am I going to get money from to survive for 30 years? So I think that having this information, the younger that you are, the better off you will be, because then you can prepare better for that period of time.
Okay, we're going to take a commercial break. When we return, I want you to continue along that trend and give some advice to those persons who may have a limited amount of time to be able to spend there. So they, what should they do in terms of looking at the schedule, seeing what it is they want to attend, what time that may be taking place, and come at that time rather than, if they have a limited amount of time to spend as well. Folks, if you have any questions or comments about the Aging Forum taking place tomorrow, the 20th of September at the Westin Hotel, starting at 1 o'clock, the official can't say ceremony, but the official event will actually kick off at 2 o'clock, and it'll run from 2 until 7 o'clock in the evening as well. If you have any questions or comments, please call us right here. You have the experts around the table. One of the presenters, Mr. Lemuel Hurlston, Credit Union, will be there as well. And of course, the voice that you just heard, Miss Carleen Bramwell, who's speaking on behalf of the ministry as well. Our toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037, 949-6990. WhatsApp number, 925-3261. Please stay tuned. Talk today. We'll be back shortly.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit CaymanAirways.com/cargo.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Storms bring wind, rain, and unexpected costs to buy supplies, secure your home, or make minor repairs. Incidental expenses not covered by insurance. Until now, with Cineco's parametric coverage, you get automatic payouts within 2 to 3 weeks of a Category 3 or stronger hurricane, whether or not you have damage. Available only through Cineco's homeowners insurance. Visit Cineco.ky to get a quote today. Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Hi there, Cayman Islands. This is Noel Casso Smith, HIV lecturer for the Cayman AIDS Foundation. HIV has no name, no face. That's why it's important to always use a condom when engaging in sexual activity. Know your HIV status. Get tested today. Call the Health Services Authority and make an appointment to get tested today. Remember, early detection could save your life. This message has been brought to you from the Cayman AIDS Foundation.
Are you feeling overwhelmed, sad, stressed out, or suicidal and need support? Call 1-800-534-6463. K-Mind, Mental Health Helpline. It's okay to ask for help. K-Mind Mental Health Helpline, available from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. Monday to Friday. It's free and confidential support and guidance on your emotional and psychological health.
The 7:20 a.m. Weather Report, Monday through Friday, is brought to you by Credit Union, on the road to 50 years of serving our members. Visit creditunion.ky to join today.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. We hope that what is on your mind today is making sure that I do all of the things that I need to do tomorrow before I go to the Aging Forum, taking place at the Westin. Of course, you can only go if you have already been registered because the event has been fully subscribed to. But do not be dismayed. There are other ways for you to follow the proceedings and to hear from persons like Mr. Lemuel Hurston, talking about financial wellness and preventing financial abuse and others as well. And Ms. Carleen Bramwell will tell you more about that. Meanwhile, we have two callers. We have a voice note on the WhatsApp, and we have a landline caller. Let's take the landline caller first. Good afternoon. Welcome to Talk Today.
Mr. Connor, it's me calling again.
Okay.
I'm not sure if Nancy understood my questions or I'm just not understanding her answers. But my first question was whether the credit union offers financing to retired civil servants against their pension payments. Because as I said, there were two. Like I said, that was about 2 years ago, and there were two pensioners. One was a senior in his 70s, and the other was in her early 50s, late 40s.
And were those pension payments going directly to the credit union?
Yes, sir. Yes,
okay,
sir. Yes,
okay.
sir. And so I didn't get a definitive understanding that whether the credit union does not systematically lend against pensioners.
Okay, let's give her an opportunity to clarify that for you.
I see that the most
caller. Let's give her an opportunity to clarify it, Ms. Nancy.
Hi there. Yes, in reference to pension. Now, like I was saying, everybody's income is completely different. So it totally depends on the amount of pension that the individual is making. If they are making a pension, if they're receiving a pension payment of only a couple $100 a month, we take into a lot of things into consideration. One, if we lend you the funds, how can you survive after the loan payment comes out? So we look at each member individually. So unfortunately, there is no yes or no answer to this. It is that the member themselves needs to come to the credit union, where we will look at each case individually and we will say whether you have the ability to repay a loan and you can survive after the loan has been paid. So if you have the income and you are earning an income through pension, yes, we can assist you through a loan, but again, it is an individual basis. It's depending on the member's ability to repay and the member's current monthly expenses. So I'm not going to say yes and I'm not going to say no. I am going to simply say
come in and see us.
Yeah, if you know anybody or anybody in the public, if you need some form of lending, come and see us and speak to us. And we're going to be honest with you. We're going to say, yes, we can help you, or no, we can't help you because. So definitely come in and visit us.
Caller, you happy with that?
Yes, thanks for that, Miss Nancy. That is pretty standard across the board for financial institutions, but their responses from the credit union by their sharing was that they were told they couldn't borrow against their pension because that was considered, their retirement money. The other question that I wasn't clear, the other answer that I wasn't clear on was, I know you said that, for instance, I would need someone to sign, or I would need someone to sign off for me to rejoin the credit union. But then after it was expanded upon that you've expanded the criteria for joining and you have to prove the relationship. Well, for instance, with me, my relationship was already proven when I was a first-time customer. So would I have to go and reprove that again according to the standards that you're now set, or would it just simply be that I could just come and reopen because I already was a previous customer and had already established a relationship causing me to be a customer?
Okay,
if
thank
that
you.
makes sense.
Sorry, that's a great question. So the credit union, it depends on when your account was closed. If it was closed within the last year or recently, then we have documentation on file that we can refer back to. But if your account was closed 10 years ago, 20 years ago, then we will ask you to provide or to prove your membership again, or how you can qualify to be a member. So it completely depends on when your account was closed. But in most cases, if an account was closed within a year or so, within a couple of years, then you can come in and you don't have to reestablish your membership or prove your membership. You just need to provide us with the updated due diligence documentation. Yep.
Caller?
Some relationships don't change though. Like
caller, we're not going to litigate it on the air. She's given you the information, but we're not going to litigate it. Thank you very much. Let's get the voice note now, please.
I'm listening to your program. I just heard a lady saying about opening an account. What about if you have, for me, like me, for instance, I have 3 great-grandsons, 2, 5, and 8. Would I be able to open an account on their behalf, or how does that go?
Hey, Ms. Nancy.
Yes, you can definitely open up an account for your great-grandbabies, your grandbabies. You can definitely open up an account. And I definitely encourage everybody who has great questions such as these, contact us, because becoming a member of the credit union is easier than you think. It is not that difficult. Once we are able to establish that relationship, we can help you out. So definitely contact the credit union and make sure you come. Book an appointment, because we're looking forward to helping you and your grandbabies and great-grandbabies save.
And usually with the children who are under the age of majority, they would be listed on it, but the primary holder of the account would normally be someone else?
Correct, yes. So if you open, using the last voice note as an example, great grandma comes in and opens up an account for her grandbabies. You would be the primary account holder. You would be the one responsible for the deposits and what takes place on the account. Now, when your grandchild or great grandchild turns 18, that account would then be turned over to an adult account where they would then have a shares account and then be qualified for a whole new set of amazing benefits, such as voting at our annual general meeting. The more they save, earning dividends. They're qualifying for loans once they have the income. So definitely we encourage everybody to open up an account. You know, Christmas is around the corner. That is the absolute best gift that you can ever give a loved one, is the ability to save, especially if they're younger children. Developing strong financial habits from a young age is so important. And teaching them the importance of, you received a little $10 from your allowance, put aside $5 at your credit union and watch it grow. So definitely open up an account. It's the best thing that you can do for your loved ones.
And it can be a gift that keeps on giving as well, because if you're fortunate enough to have it, to have an account or shares that you get a reasonable dividend from, then you take that and you share that amongst your grandchildren and redeposit that into their into their accounts as well, so it can become the gift that keeps on giving. What better way? So one of our listeners on one of the previous forums that we had or discussions that we had about the forum pointed out that they were going to be in the UK, and if there was any way that they could follow the proceedings at the forum. So when we return from our commercial break, we're going to have Miss Carleen Bramwell talk to you about the various ways. Like I said before, there's no concern now about, if we tell them that they can listen through various medium, they may not come. Fully subscribed. Folks, please stay tuned. Talk Today. We'll be back shortly.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
The best foundation you can wear is glowing, healthy skin. The offices of dermatologist Dr. Wayne Porter specialize in enhancing your skin's well-being. Whether you're seeking advanced skincare, including any skin cancers, Botox, filler, cosmetic skin enhancements, or simply looking to reduce wrinkles, Dr. Porter offers a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. For more information, email drporterkman@gmail.com or call 946-9020. That is 946-9020.
Time to take advantage of the September RAM water tank sale. Looking to start a car wash business? Get a head start with discounts on 225-gallon mobile truck tanks. Save on rising costs and help prevent erosion and flooding with 450-gallon tanks in blue, green, and white. RAM water tanks boast superior strength, made to withstand harsh conditions and impact resistance. Order your RAM water tank today. Call 925-3822. RAM water tanks, built to last a lifetime.
Explore your history. Explore your land.
Explore your sister islands, the ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom, the land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your sister islands.
Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
We are now in the hurricane season, and to survive a hurricane, you need to be informed. If you have been informed by official sources that a hurricane is approaching the Cayman Islands, and you live in a low-lying area that is prone to flooding or near the beaches, which may be swept by high tides or storm waves, please seek a safe place and high ground. If the only way for you to get to a safe place is a road that is also likely to be flooded during a storm, please leave home early. Don't run the risk of being stranded. This has been a public service announcement from your community station, Radio Cayman.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. For those of you who are just joining us, my pleasure to have in the studio with me this afternoon discussing the Aging Forum taking place tomorrow, the 20th of September at the Westin. We have Ms. Nancy Whitaker from the Credit Union, Ms. Carleen Bramwell from the Ministry, and Mr. Lemuel Hurlston, former Chief Secretary, who will be presenting on financial wellness and preventing financial abuse as well. And we want to get Mr. Hurlston back into the conversation, but person said they were going to be off in the UK, to the UK, and wanted to know, how can I get access to the proceedings at the forum as well. Ms. Bramwell.
So the forum will be international then in that case. So as I said before, we have contracted with the Compass, and they will be streaming it live on their Compass Facebook page. Later on, they're going to put a package together where they will actually have it on Compass TV as a program, and also CIG YouTube will also have it later on as well. So even if you miss it tomorrow, you will still be able to either watch it live, or later on we will have other opportunities that you can actually get the information.
Okay. So we're going to get back into financial wellness and preventing financial abuse. But again, one of the previous discussions that we had, there was a person who owns a landscaping company and wanted to know if they wanted to offer their services to elderly persons who were feeling the financial pinch and couldn't afford it, whether or not there were any procedures or any entities in place that he could contact to be able to offer that service.
I love that. And this is why we have these conversations, because we want the community to really think about, how can I as a person help another older person? So yes, we expect that our family members are going to be taking care of their older persons, and as we talked about the law the other day and Miss Alice hammered on certain things, yes. Obviously that's a responsibility that we do have. But if you are a business owner and you think, you know what, I can offer a 10% off, or once a month I can do a free service for somebody, then that's wonderful. We had started a campaign last year where we were asking persons to send in their information to the Older Persons Council, as I said, through the website or email olderpersonscouncil@gov.ky to say what can you offer? And then in turn, we would hope that eventually we would have these sort of resources on our website as well, so that people are able then to see which are those businesses who are good corporate citizens, obviously, who want to offer those sorts of services. And we totally encourage that. That is really one of the aims that we do have as well, that the community itself embraces the idea of the policy. And I would also encourage people to go online and look at older persons policy, because there are a lot of ideas within there that may stimulate the business mind or the creative mind to say, that's a service that I could actually do. And you are correct in terms of the income is limited at that time. The government has done things to reduce fees on certain things that you all talked about the other day, the post office fees,
driver's
license, passport, vehicle license, etc. And so it also takes not only the government, we can't do everything, but the community to step up to the plate as well. So I'd encourage that person to contact the Older Persons Council, and we can see how, because technically all you would need to say is you advertise it yourself, really, and then you just check then to see that the person who you're offering the service to is over 65. So done deal.
Excellent. So, Mr. Hurlstone, we know that most persons are living, on fixed income. Even with pensions, public service pension, you may get a cost of living increase, but it, on your pension, but it never equates to what you're actually feeling, out there as well. As far as advice is concerned in relation to how do you go about spending your money, how do you choose? And we hear talk about, people should eat healthy, but we also know that the healthy foods are the more expensive foods, as well. Any advice?
Sure. Well, the first piece of advice is that persons who retire at, say, age 60 or 65 ought to be planning to be retired for up to 3 decades, which is another 30 years on top of that. You need to plan because one never knows, with medical care being what it is these days, people are living longer, and so you have to plan for the maximum. Cost of living being what it is, we all feel the pinch when our families go to the supermarket. We just have to be prudent in how we allocate our resources, and we need to review that plan from time to time to see what needs adjusting. And the other piece of advice would be to be a little more, and this happens in my own family, to try and be a little bit more open about our finances, because it's amazing how many families keep their finances too private, and so the family doesn't quite understand who is managing what and for what purpose. And when there is conflict, it presents all kinds of issues and challenges. So a little bit of open discussion about how the finances are managed would be good advice. People on a pension, especially older persons on a fixed income, have to be extraordinarily careful, because there are businesses that will target them as older persons, and with the pretense that they're offering a deal, but in truth and in fact it's an opportunity to get in to take advantage. And I think the credit union is going to talk a little bit at the forum about how to minimize that, taking that advantage over
certain scams.
Yes, the scams. And that's one of the areas that if and I notice that the police, for example, are getting a little bit more proactive now in advising the public of things to look for, because the scammers are getting smarter and more sophisticated, and we have to just be so careful that we don't get trapped into those schemes. So older persons have to be careful, and if you have if you have any doubt whatsoever, the answer is no. And until you can be persuaded that it is a legitimate and a safe opportunity to do something, to do business, the answer is always and should always be no. And let the family understand why you're saying no, so that no one else in the family gets taken advantage of in that process.
Okay, well, I'm a huge Law and Order fan on television, right? And I recall this one episode where this gentleman had retired. I think he was like a former porter, either the railroad or worked at the airport. And he paid off his house and everything. He had served in the army and everything. Then his son gave him a computer to keep him occupied. And that computer was what got him in trouble because he became the target, of scammers, someone who actually transferred his property and took his property and everything. It was so ironic.
Yes. And as Mr. Hurlson just said, the scammers are getting more and more sophisticated and believable with what they're doing. And then you feel, and I can say I felt, very stupid after the fact, and you don't want to tell anybody about what had happened. But I think that is also how we learn. If we can give our experiences so that somebody else knows what to look out for, then they will be better off. And I just wanted a practical, and I love Mr. Hurston and his practicality. I've always admired that about him. But one of the other things, a simple thing that people can do, you will have 3 families, for example, that there is a grandmother household, there is a nuclear family household, and somebody else. You're going to Price Right, for example. You're buying 10 pounds or 20 pounds of rice. Then you can just share that. So now you have taken off that particular load off of the grandmother's household to provide a meal. And I also wanted to highlight the fact that none of these things are sort of in silos. So the other day, as we may have realized, the Department of Agriculture was offering those grow boxes, right? And I think that they are going to do it again. I'm hoping. I spoke to the director and I'm like, can I encourage you to do that again?
Based on one of our callers, they had better do it again.
Exactly. So little things like that can help us overall. And as I say, different departments are doing different things that, what's the term? Little make much, or something. Yes. So.
Okay, folks, we're going to go to our headline news at 2 o'clock. Please stay tuned. Talk today. We'll be back shortly.
Covering Little Cayman, Kim and Bragg.
Cover me. Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market.
I'm April Cummings with your latest headlines. The 4th Cayman Islands Biennial opens October 2nd, showcasing more than 90 works across all 3 islands. This year's themes is Archipelago, highlighting the diversity of Caymanian and diaspora artists. The exhibition runs through February 18th, with venues including the National Gallery, National Museum, Mission House, Grand Bellas, Little Cayman Museum, and Bragg Heritage House. Admission is free, along with a full slate of public programming. In international news, the U.S. House has passed a short-term spending bill to keep the government funded through November 21st. Lawmakers are working to avoid a partial shutdown on October 1st, but the measure faces steep opposition in the Senate. The final House vote was 217 to 212, with just one Democrat in support. Toyota and Hyundai are recalling a combined $1.1 million in the U.S. Toyota's recall covers nearly 600,000 cars with faulty instrument panels that may fail to show critical safety information. Hyundai's recall involves defective seatbelts. Repairs will be done free of charge at dealerships. Those are your headlines. I'm April Cummings.
www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit CaymanAirways.com/cargo.
Freedom, Cayman Brac. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Storms bring wind, rain, and unexpected costs to buy supplies, secure your home, or make minor repairs. Incidental expenses not covered by insurance. Until now, with Cineco's parametric coverage, you get automatic payouts within 2 to 3 weeks of a Category 3 or stronger hurricane, whether or not you have damage. Available only through Cineco's homeowners insurance. Visit Cineco.ky to get a quote today. Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Protect your computers and mobile devices with security software to defend against cyber attacks through viruses, malware, and other online threats. Be aware of unsecure Wi-Fi connections when in public. If you need to access your online banking or sensitive information on your mobile devices, try disabling the Wi-Fi and switching to data from your mobile network. If you suspect a fraud attempt, please contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Attention Cayman, transform your kitchen for less with Granite Express Cayman. Skip the Christmas rush and take advantage of our year-end promotion. Offer is valid until October 31st. Refresh your space with our cabinet respray services and quartz countertops for as low as $3,950. Selected material. If you only need a countertop, prices start at $2,250. Don't miss this limited time offer. Visit Granite Express Cayman today or call 922-0424 for our free estimate. Granite Express, quality stone, unbeatable prices.
Gamers Bay 9 is proudly presented by NetGeeks Media, Ministry of Social Development and Innovation, Ministry of Tourism, Ministry of Youth and Sports, Tech West, Enterprise Cayman, C3 Pure Fiber, UCCI, and Radio Cayman, supporting Cayman's gaming community, one pixel at a time.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today. We have less than half an hour to go in the show. We're talking about the second Aging Forum taking place tomorrow, the 20th of September at the Westin Hotel, and Miss Carleen Bramwell will tell you more about that. Before we end the show as well. In addition to Miss Carlene Bramwell, we have Miss Nancy Whitaker from the Credit Union in the studio with us, and we have Mr. Lemuel Hurlston, who will be presenting on financial wellness and preventing financial abuse. So, folks, we know that there are persons out there who are within that 65-year age bracket who would love to continue working. Some may want to do so simply because they want to remain active, and one may say, well, they can volunteer for, to do certain things. But then there are those who would welcome the additional income to help them to live a much more comfortable life as well. So one of the things that we should be looking at is whether or not we should be increasing the retirement age. Now, we see other jurisdictions doing so for various reasons, including the fact that the type of social system that they have in place, they want more people to continue to work longer so that they can pay in to Social Security or whatever it is to help those persons who are within that system as well. Should we give consideration, or is consideration being given to increase the retirement age in the Cayman Islands?
Well, one thing I would like to say, I love my credit union.
Oh, yes.
Our credit union here in Cayman, we don't discriminate against age. We have employees that are over the age of 65. So just because you have reached 65 does not mean that you need to stop working. At least our credit union doesn't look at it that way. If you have the ability and you want to contribute to something bigger, then definitely the credit union is the place to be. So don't be afraid to put in your applications if you see jobs that are being offered, or just put it in your resume in general. Age is just a number to us. It means nothing.
Mm-hmm. I love that. And that's one of the things that also the policy encourages. Mm-hmm. A part of the policy talks about a skills bank. And the whole point of that is about knowing who has what skills in the community. And I remember Mr. Banks was on the other day. Mm-hmm, he called in and talked about that wealth of knowledge and so forth. And that is how the council wants the community to view older persons, that they have a lot of knowledge that is still applicable to today. Yes, there are all of the advances in technology and all of this, but there is something about that lived knowledge, as we were talking about with Mr. Lem, and that is why I guess he's called to do so many things. And there are so many
rarely says or never says no.
That's the other thing. And there are so many people in the community like that. And my personal view is, if somebody is able to work and you are able to pay them and you have the ability, whether it is a part-time job or anything like that, I think that this should be allowed, whether you have a retirement age or don't have a retirement age. And I really don't have an opinion specifically in terms of whether we should be moving to 70 or 75 or whatever. But I think that if people have the ability, are able to, allow them to do that, because and the people who do dementia training and all this will tell you that when people start to isolate and don't have anything active to do, then their minds, it's almost like their minds start to shrink. It gets less working, etc., etc. And that then creates another problem for us, because then we're going to have to be thinking about our healthcare systems and assisted living and all of these sorts of things. So all of these things have a ripple effect. So my opinion is, if somebody wants to work and there is no major liability, allow them to work.
And Mr. Hurlston, in terms of if they're hiring someone from the civil service, from the public service, and that person is a full-fledged pensioner to a certain extent, where they also get their free medical, it means additional cost to that employer because you don't then have to provide medical insurance for that person because they're already covered on the government.
Yeah.
So that additional benefit is there as well.
And I think there's another option too, and a lot of people consider this when they're retiring, and that is retire at whatever age you choose to retire at, but you can also then be rehired under a local contract arrangement so that you can still continue to perform the duties, but under a different contractual sort of obligation. And that's another option that I think people can consider. Cayman is also one of the unique countries in the world where we are creating jobs at a rate faster than we're producing population.
Yes.
And so that is a dilemma that presents pressures on our inward immigration system. And so whatever we can do to stabilize the population and to encourage Caymanians to grow the population internally, the better off the society will be. And also particularly during hurricane emergencies and the like, people can volunteer to do services on those special occasions wherever there's a particular need and you have a particular skill. In emergencies, you can always volunteer and do some good to the community in that regard.
Okay, I believe we do have a caller. Caller, good afternoon. Welcome to Talk Today.
Hey, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Okay, and you?
Fine, thanks.
Okay, good afternoon to you guys, Mr. Orrett Connor.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, when it comes to old people, what I would like to see is every Saturday, people get together, and if they're able to take the old people in their private vehicles, they're able to do that. If not, then the government can provide transportation. Take them by the Governor's Beach every Saturday, like 10 o'clock in the morning. Let them use the carpet that is on the beach for the wheelchairs to push them down by the ocean. Help them to get out of the wheelchair and let them go in and bathe in the sea for like an hour and 20 minutes. After that, have some coconuts underneath the shade trees. Somebody hucks in some coconuts and putting a straw in the coconuts and let the old people drink some coconut water. Let that be something that they can look forward to every Saturday. It's not impossible what I'm saying. This can happen. We have people who are going to Humane Society walking dogs. We have people carrying food for Meals on Wheels. And that's every day. So every Saturday, I don't see why it should be impossible that this cannot happen, especially if the government is involved. Thank you.
Caller, before you go, should it be done on a community basis or island-wide? It seems to me that would be much more manageable and workable if it's done, from a community setting rather than an island-wide setting. Which do you envision?
Well, once it can be a community, it can be in the communities, but it has to be a spot where the old people are able to stand up in the water without hurting their feet, and where they're not able to be injured in any way. Because that's salt water. After coming out, that's salt water for 20 minutes, and then drinking a coconut, a Huck's fresh coconut afterwards, and taking them home after that. Looking forward to that every Saturday is better than giving them $1 million. Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. The only thing with the coconuts, they're going to probably have to compete against all of those coconut sellers at the farmers market, because every truck that you see these days, the back of it is filled up with coconut. And when you're looking at what is it now, more than $25 per gallon, as well.
Mm-hmm.
But no, the caller's point is well taken, and we need more of those services. To be extended, as well. So we have about 12 minutes left to go. We're going to, time it as perfectly, as we can. We're going to start off again, with the credit union, talking about the services that they provide and what to look forward to at the Aging Forum tomorrow. Ms. Nancy.
So yes, just want to thank everybody again for listening to us, and definitely, when you think about saving, come to your credit union. We are here to help you save. Also, there's so many benefits, from no fees to being a part of something big. Being a part of our credit union, it's an amazing organization. And please, if you have registered, make sure that you get to this forum tomorrow. If you did not get the opportunity to register, check online. Check those different forums, because you don't want to miss this, especially the presenters that will be speaking on behalf of the credit union, Mr. Hurlston, as well as we have our IT team. We have Mr. Ryan Walrent and Mr. Marius Jackson, and then we have our amazing branch manager from our Savannah branch, Mr. Jeffrey Wilson. He will be there, and yes, he has an amazing singing voice as well. So this is a presentation that you do not want to miss. All three of these gentlemen are amazing, great speakers. They will keep your attention, they will keep you entertained, and they will educate you.
And you will have a booth at the forum as well? The credit union?
Believe, yes, we do have a booth. Yes, we do have a booth as well. So definitely come out, come and speak. I think our presenters will be on from 5:45 to 6:45. So you definitely don't want to miss that. Stay to the very end, because there will be a treat. Just this presentation alone, I've had a look at it and I have learned some amazing things from it. So you don't want to miss this presentation. So come out, come and join, and have fun with your credit union team.
Okay, and one of the presenters right here at the table, Mr. Lemuel Hurlston, again, and thank you very much for all that you have done, as far as the civil services is concerned, and what you continue to do as well, sir.
Thank you. Well, I'm delighted to be presenting, and I hope that my presentation will be received in the best of spirit, because it's important for us to share with one another. Our experiences are important, our goals and our ambitions are important, and there's nothing that's unimportant when it comes to seniors. Every senior concern should be the concern of a community. And financial wellness and economic well-being is critical for all of us to survive, our families and us individually. So I'm hoping that these presentations will leave the audience with a desire to learn more. And what I have learned in life is that the more you learn, the more you realize there's more to learn. And so it's an ongoing process. And there's never a time when you're going to know it all or you're going to know everything. So we have our limits, and we just have to be happy with whatever God has blessed us with. Okay.
Ms. Bramwell, there's no doubt that the resounding success of this second Aging Forum, and we already know it's going to be a success based on the registration number of registrants, as well. How will that incentivize the ministry? Not that you need any incentive, but incentivize you to go further, make the next forum bigger and better as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, as you heard from the Chief Officer earlier this week, they have been very, very supportive in terms of hosting this forum. The Minister Rankin, is very dedicated to seniors, to youth, to everybody. So I'm sure that the government as a whole will be supporting any sort of efforts like this in the future. Perhaps one of the things that we will need to do in addition to having a big forum on an annual basis, there may be smaller gatherings where we can really delve into a lot of these discussions deeper. So that's one of the ideas that we are kicking around as well. And of course, the Department of Children and Family Services has a unit specifically for elderly care. So one of the things that they do is to teach caregivers, help family members with things like wills and power of attorney and all of that sort of thing. So definitely this is something that we will continue to do, maybe in different formats, maybe bigger, etc. So we'll continue to do that. I want to go back to the caller, though, because I think his points are well made. And sometimes we don't think about the wideness of the opportunities that we actually have. Yes. And while, yes, we might want government to do everything, we also have to remember that we are the same people who complain that, oh, the civil service is getting larger and larger and larger. However, if we have people who are committed and can volunteer and within their communities, as you said, can get together. And if you have an idea that you think can benefit people, you go out there and do it. So if you want to carry 5 people to whichever beach it is, then do that. Just make sure that they're safe and so forth. So I'd love to encourage that sort of stimulation of the brain in terms of thinking how creatively we can help individually. On Saturday, it seems like we were planning forever, but it has crawled up on us. So on Saturday, we will be at the Westin from 1:00, and we will have lunch at the beginning, and then starting at 2:00, we have the different presentations. The agenda will be online, and on our website, and I've already sort of mentioned them throughout. We would also like to thank our sponsors. Let me thank, first of all, Nancy from the Credit Union and Mr. Hurlston for being here with me today. I have learned a lot, and I'm sure persons who attend tomorrow will also gain a lot from there. We will have goodie bags, by the way, so I'm sure that Credit Union must have something to put in that goodie bag. So thank you to our ministry sponsors, the Ministry of Social Development and Innovation, Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture and Heritage, which are both under Minister Isaac Rankin, the Ministry of Health, Environment and Sustainability, the Credit Union, as I said, the Health Services Authority, Honorable Minister for District Administration, Mr. Nicholas DaCosta has helped, and Cayman Airways have also given some assistance as well, with persons coming from the BRAC, yes. The Department of Agriculture and our community partners, Department of Children and Family Services, Financial Assistance, Department of Financial Assistance, ADASI, and of course the Older Persons Council and the National Council for Persons with Disabilities, and Healthy Futures, which is the business of Miss Fiona McDougall. We could not do this without all of the partners and without the Cayman Islands government's support. So we are so appreciative of that, and we look forward to Saturday and then to next year.
Did you mention the Older Persons Disability Council as well?
The Older Persons Council and the Disabilities Council, yes, they will also be there.
Got all of it. Anything that anyone may have missed that they want to chime in at the end? We still have about 2 minutes left to go, in the show as well. And again, to repeat, in terms of those persons now who are will be unable to attend because the registration process, it is full.
Right. So again, we thank Compass TV as well. As I said, they will be recording it, and therefore we will have it to replay over and over. But tomorrow itself, it will be streaming on Compass's Facebook page, and then it will air on Compass TV at a later date. And also on Cayman Islands Government YouTube channel. So there will be opportunities to see it again. Last year we had another company and they also recorded it, and you may have seen it on Government YouTube. So yes, we have ensured that we will have it saved for future.
And people are aware that there's no free transportation that's provided for this event. Everyone has to find their own transport, but that in itself does not seem to be a deterrent as well.
Right.
Neither.
If somebody tells you that they need to come to the West End, just give them a ride to the West End. But yes, so one of the things that we are aware of is that transportation is an issue. In general, we were having this conversation earlier on a break. And again, this is another area where the community could also step up. Somebody may have the idea that, look, I can provide transportation for whether it's a specific event or for persons who need to go to the hospital, need to take up medication, all of that, at a discounted and low cost would be great. I know that there are communities like Savannah, for example. We started a bus that just ran up and down Newlands.
Right.
And that in itself had been a wonderful thing until something happened, apparently, to the window, and then we had to fix it again and so forth. But these are the ideas that we need to generate and implement, and I'd encourage people to do that. So transportation, one of the needs for elderly.
And we know that there's one particular company, and I'll mention it because we need to recognize these companies when they do well. Webster Tours. They're always providing, free transport when it is needed.
This is
Kudos
true.
to them.
This is true, yes. And I mean, I've seen Mr. Webster and his people at a number of older persons events, etc. So yes, those sorts of corporate citizens we must acknowledge, and we thank them.
Okay, I want to thank you all for being here, making this such a great conversation this afternoon. And folks, if you want to hear more of this, then you'll be there tomorrow at the Second Aging Forum taking place at the Westin, starting at 1 o'clock. Then the event itself will start at 2 o'clock, run until 7 o'clock. Already fully subscribed as well, but there are other ways for you to watch it. And you heard Miss Carleen Bramwell list those other medium that you will be able to either follow the event or view it later on as well. Folks, have a great weekend. Please stay safe out there. I welcome you to join me on Monday, God's willing, for the record. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to continue to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands, which has seen its success based on the actions, the ingenuity of those persons we now to refer to as older persons in our community. They are the ones who built this, what we have today, and we need now to give them the type of assistance that they need, because when we needed it, they were there for us, so we have to be there now for them as well.
Well said, sir.
Okay, have a great day. Thank you very much.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.